Welcome, everybody. Welcome to this live stream that we're doing this month on email marketing and specifically on welcome emails. I'm so happy that you're here. For those of you that are still signing up and joining in, happy that you guys are all here. I got West Coast people coming in too. So welcome, guys. We're not gonna take long because this is a lunchtime live, and we're gonna be talking about our email and email marketing and how to win with a welcome sequence that really can turn and convert into sales. My name is Bart Aniston. I'm the owner and founder of Creative Partner, which is a design studio in the city of Toronto in Canada. And like I've mentioned, we're going to jump right into this, guys. So strap in for another 30 minutes, and we are going to be talking about one more time email marketing and how to get started, how to get your sales and revenue up because of it. So I got my glass of water in here, and I'm ready. I already had lunch. So if you guys got your lunch and you're here, like let's go right for it. So the first thing that you want to keep in mind, for sure, with when you are trying to generate a connection, a genuine connection, and grow your business through marketing, that you have to put yourself in their shoes. Like, you have to prepare the journey for your clients, for your customers, for what they might be getting out of it, right? So getting an email marketing plan up and running is a huge accomplishment for your small business. But the journey doesn't just stop there. You have to kind of get some things in place and really picture how you're going to be supporting them to get to what the end result is. Maybe it's a service, maybe it's SaaS, maybe it's a product, whatever it may be. So we're going to be talking about next level concepts that you guys need to know. So if you want to take your email marketing strategy to the next level, you need next level practices. And some of the things that, just like on a web page, you would have your headline be like the most important thing, the biggest thing. The number one thing you have to consider when you are writing an email for your customers to see and read is going to be your subject line, right? That's like the first impression as to what they're going to be seeing once they sign up for it. So you have to really start at the beginning here. What's the subject line going to be? What's the primary, the preview text going to be? So when you're doing your subject line, there are a couple things that you should probably try to do. Write out a couple of them. Say, okay, what am I really offering them? And then write out how am I going to word it specifically so that they get a good sense of what they're getting, and that it will also excite them and show the potential of what they can do with whatever they're going to be getting from you. Run through some options, talk to some friends. All this is going to help you find like a real live A/B test that's going to get you going in terms of having some options and ideas for your subject line, as well as a preview text. Your preview text is always visible, especially on mobile, when you're doing that. So just like your preview, it's just like your subject line. Your preview text should grab the reader's attention. It should be short and straight to the point. Maybe sometimes a little tongue in cheek, a little funny that will grab their attention. Maybe speaking bluntly and plainly gets someone's attention as well. And that's something that you really want to designate, so that it's also not just blank and it's nothing, because trust me, your competitors are doing it, and you want to make sure that you're also doing those things. And before we get started as well, like, I'm just giving you a couple of pre-texts. I'm going to jump into it at the end. 8 things that are really going to help your emails convert to sales. This is just a bit of a pretext here. The last thing I really want to say is you really got to work at your sendability, your deliverability, and you don't want to end up in the spam box, right? You don't want to end up in the junk folder. So avoid purchasing email lists, guys. Okay, these type of lists can like ruin your reputation. If you add a link to your email, make sure that they lead to where they say they're going to lead them to. Protect yourself by utilizing a double opt-in. So all these different things, make sure you send emails regularly so that it shows that the credibility of the deliverability of your email list. list that you're sending to. So those are the type of things that you really want to make sure that you're always thinking about. The first thing always is the subject line. Like, what are you offering? Your subject line, making sure that your preview text is really important, and then you're making sure that your emails get delivered. Keep that in mind. That's like pretext for what we're going to be actually talking about this webinar. Okay. The first thing I want to say before we even jump into the main subject for today is the average open rate of commercial emails is anywhere between 18 to 25%, and unsubscribers are typically between 0.25 and 0.50, so a quarter to half percent, according to Marketing Proofs. So no one likes to be ignored or see subscribers go. That's why, you know, it can happen, but we do use email because of its good success rate of sending and opens and click-throughs, but you can also lose subscribers. So it's something that you have to maintain, something that you have to take care of, something that you actually got to be working at consistently, and in the long run, you will see great results from it. Sending emails is extremely important if you have a business or if you have a product that you are offering, because sometimes, you know, when you have something like that, new subscribers can sign up for maybe your newsletter or something like that, but you don't send them an email right away. That can really hinder your results. And there's actually some proof behind that. So I got some stats here. Welcome emails get 320% more revenue than promotional emails, of 86% lift in unique open rates, and that's 196% lift in unique click rates, according to entrepreneur.com. So wait until you have a promotion that you send a newsletter or a drip email to your list, and you don't send something right away. They may have forgotten about you. And marketing principle is, listen, the reason why they're on your site, the reason why that they signed up for your newsletter or whatever it is because they're thinking about you. So you have to strike while the iron is hot. You got to do it now, and you have to do it often. So there's actually even a chart, if you were to look up how soon you send an email to how quickly somebody then opens that email, if they've signed up for the newsletter. So if you wait an hour, is that how long it takes for your email to be sent out after they've signed up for your newsletter, your first email that hour, versus immediately, or even versus the next day, or versus a couple of weeks? You know, the drop off is significant. If I sign up for something, it's because I'm interested in it and I want to see what you're going to offer me right away. So we're going to talk about a couple of tips to have effective emails. And, you know, one of the first things that you want to keep in mind is there are two main things you want to keep in mind. And after these two things, we're going to jump into the 8 elements of a successful email sequence that turns into sales. But I'm trying to give you guys as much information as possible, you know, in a quick 30-minute live stream, and I want to make sure that I pack it in with as much information. So hopefully you guys are taking notes and write down as much as you can. And at the end, I'm going to be talking about how you can sign up and get all of the information that we spoke about today and more, like with real examples sent to you in a PDF form. So quickly, let's jump into 2 tips for creating effective email sequences. Okay. Number 1, highlight the value of subscribing in the sign-up form. This is huge. When someone is looking at your sign-up form, maybe it's for a subscription, maybe it's for a promo code, make sure it's extremely explicit about what they are going to get once they sign up for it. You don't want it to be a guessing game, and you want them to be looking forward to what you're going to send them. So if you say, hey, sign up for this promo code, you're going to get 20% off your first sale, that person, if they're interested in actually purchasing something from you, is waiting for that. So highlight the value of subscribing right up front. In order to solidify subscription, it's vital to let subscribers know exactly what they're going to get when they sign up. The second thing is, don't stop after just one email. Once you've engaged with your audience with the initial email, keep the momentum going with a drip series of helpful content. And this is why I said we don't have time to cover every aspect of email marketing, but planning the journey of the customer from the very beginning is going to be something that is going to either make or break long-term success. So after you've sent your welcome email, and we're going to talk about what's going to be inside of that in just 1 second, after you've sent that email, you need to consider, what else can I do to be helpful to this person along the journey? Maybe your initial product is an objective that is for the customer, but your secondary and tertiary products that you offer are business objectives. These are things that have maybe higher margin of profit that you want to offer to your customers. So these are things that you need to plan out in advance so that you can kind of see the impact of whether or not this is actually going to work. And you're kind of guiding them on this path, leading them to maybe the next big thing that you want to offer them to purchase, or the next big thing you want them to sign up for. Maybe you're having a live event, maybe there's a sale, maybe you want them to help promote what you're doing, and you want them to share some things so that they get something out of it. So all those things need to be considered before you start. So just to recap quickly, highlight the value in the subscription form, and don't stop after one email. Be helpful, be mindful of the journey that you're going to place your customers on. Okay, I got all the preliminary stuff out of the way. Again, I'm trying to pack in as much as I can to get you guys the most benefit out of this short live stream. But we're now at the point where we're going to jump in to the 8 elements of a welcome email sequence that converts to sales. So I'm going to preface this by, these are elements of an email sequence. Depending on the business or the industry that you are in, that may determine whether or not which of these elements will be specific to you and to your industry and how your business is. And again, knowing what your plan is, knowing what the journey you want to put your customers on, will also determine which of these elements are going to be most beneficial to you on your platform that you're building. I'm going to take a quick sip of water here before we get started. All right. So the first thing is obviously timely. The time sending a welcome email promptly makes a huge difference. When you send it to them, they are enthusiastic about what's happening and about your business, and you want to capitalize on that. So that's number one. Number two is actually a greeting. If in your subscription form you give them, or they give you rather, their first and last name, make the greeting personal. Don't make it very generic. You don't want them to feel like they're getting just a newsletter. You want them to feel like they're getting an email from you. So make it personal, make the greeting real and authentic. Use their name whenever it's appropriate. Those type of things actually matter. That's why it has become best practice for most email marketers to be doing those type of things. Of course, adding personalization can help any email. Emails with personalization subject lines are 26% more likely to be opened. Okay. Number three is tell recipients what to do. A business, you probably want your new subscribers to start using the software right away. So give them the clear idea to get started. That might be a getting started guide video. That might be a document. That might be like the first 3 things you should do. These type of things are huge. I just recently switched to a service called Dubsado, and they did a really good job of leading me through a very complicated software step by step using email. Show them what they're supposed to be doing next, especially if you want them to capitalize on the enthusiasm of being associated with your company or thinking about your company. That's number 3. Number 4, give subscribers a gift. Welcome emails are an ideal place to slip your subscribers something special. Like, think of you get a free gift if you on your first purchase, or maybe a promo code. That's a discount their first order. Something special, some type of free thing that makes them feel like you really value them. These are going to convert to sale. And remember, everything that we're talking about right here, the stat is that it is 320% more likely for them to open up the first initial email that you have for them rather than 2, 3, 4, 5. The rate is going to go lower as you keep going on until you build the trust and authority. So you might as well have something right then and there to capitalize again on that attention that you have. And don't wait for when you have a promotion to then email them. Have a always on promotion just for your email clients. And that way they'll feel extremely special, or that you value them. They'll understand that you value them, and they're more likely again to capitalize on the transaction that you have placed before them. That's number 4. Number 5 is a great one. Sometimes you can have different information in different places. So if you are a business that has a service, but maybe you have a Facebook group that does the Q&A and FAQ rather, that can actually help people self-help and crowdsource some of the problems that might be arising or best practices to use. That's a great way to get people to see another side of you, to get another perspective of what the business has to offer, and to see how many people are really engaged in the product or service that you're offering. So don't just make it a one thing where, okay, it's just on email. You want to have as many points of contact as possible. And, having things like social media handles or Instagram handles, like those things help. Even YouTube, if you have a series of videos that help people get started, all these things are useful if you get them from the very beginning to then sign up for all the different social media platforms that your business is on. Number 6, we're almost there. I know I'm going fast, but I am going to have a Q&A at the end, and we are going to have some more information about what to do next. Number 6, ask subscribers to add you to their safe senders or contact list. This is a great practice to do it right at the very beginning. You ask them for something, you offer them something rather, and then you ask them to do something. Okay, here's your promo code that you signed up to get. Hey, guess what? There's going to be more things coming up, and I don't want you to miss out. How about you add me to your safe sender list or to your contact list, and give them clear descriptions on how to do that. And they can do that in a few clicks. It'll take them less than a minute and a few clicks. And that way they are ready to receive the next email in your sequence. Remember, we don't want to just send one email. We want to have multiple emails in a sequence, and you want to have them, spaced out just so, but you don't want someone to miss out on that because that they're not subscribed, or they don't have you on their safe sender list. And not everybody has sophisticated email platforms. Gmail does a pretty good job of filtering out, but sometimes it gets too aggressive. And if you haven't sent a lot of emails, you might be sent to the junk or spam folder. Number 7 is include a unsubscribe link. Again, this is just good practice. I believe in some places it is legal practice for you to have a clear way for somebody to unsubscribe for this. And this is, again, why I would not suggest purchasing a list. You haven't earned it. And a lot of times people get a lot of emails already. So you need to earn the authority and earn that relationship status with your clientele. And if you just buy a subscribe list, which subscribes, it's actually devaluing the list that you purchased. So it may not be a good way to actually use the platform. Value service-based type things for your potential customers, and they might be more attracted that way to come to you. So if you offer freebies, and if you do contests, if you do giveaways or have special promotions, if they sign up for your email list, you can quickly grow your email list. But if you have a list that's just purchased, that might end up in a lot of unsubscribes. And I definitely would tell people to make sure that they have a simple way for people to unsubscribe to those email lists, because you might end up with people being frustrated with you, and that might deter a future sale completely. Just because somebody does not want the email, so that means that they don't want to be associated with your company, or that they don't want to potentially have a sale from you in the future. But those type of things might turn them off completely. It may seem like you are an aggressive marketer that's not really caring about the duality in the relationship in just one side. Okay. That was a really long tangent. We're going to move on to the last thing. and it's probably the most important thing, is find out what they want. Sometimes information is priceless. To that end, you can use your new subscribers' enthusiasm to find out what they want. So maybe part of the email that you send out, you are also asked to say, what would you like to see? What are some of the things that you want to receive out of this? You know, don't make it all one-sided. The more information that you can get, especially if you get them to, to follow you on different social media platforms, you can really have a more candid conversation, and help them develop some of the things that they might want to see. Again, the more that you choose to engage with them while they are thinking about your company, the more that you're going to see that the engagement level is higher and more sustained throughout the relationship and course of your email tenure with them. So if you just, offer a promo code in the email that they first get, it says, hey, here's your promo code, and then that's it. That may be lost opportunity to maybe ask some questions about them, which will help you segment them, which is a whole other conversation. But you can then start to segment them, start to hear their ideas, start to understand what they're looking for, and provide specific results just for them, specific products just for them. Say, hey, we're getting lots of people who are asking for a starting guide. Maybe we could do a video if you're starting out new as a business, and people are really asking for, hey, we would love to have a video series where you walk through your product or you walk through your software. That could be something that immediately you can see the results just from having people respond to a quick survey, and there are different ways that you can do that. Okay, we are at 21 minutes, so there's not a lot of time left. Like I said, this is something that we're doing pretty fast every single month, maybe for like 20 to 30 minutes during your lunch while you can eat it. But with email marketing, some of the things that you really do need to keep in mind, it is when you're writing, to write in batch. Don't write when you have to have something done and ready. Have something that you have some buffer time where you can maybe write outlines out of what you're thinking of, and then when you do your outline, you most likely are outlining one email. I would say you probably have 3 or 4 emails in that outline. Really break out your emails and then see, how can I define these specifically and make them more focused, and then you can break up your ideas into multiple emails. The reason why reason why the drip email or sequential emails have become so popular is it keeps people's attention for a longer period of time, and anticipation up for a longer period of time, and it allows you to really walk them through the sales process. And this is something that is actually very key. If you slowly provide me with information that allows me to see the value of, or maybe even some firsthand experience and testimonials and social proof, that can actually help lead me to the next step of the purchasing process. And if you have this all in one long email, you have to realize that people are not going to read all of that, and it's not going to sink in the same way. The other part of that, the other side of that coin that you have to keep in mind is a lot of times people are using their phones to read a lot of emails. I would say over half. I don't know the stat on it, but I would assume more than half. I rarely read email on my laptop. I'm usually, as they come in on the go, I'm going through it. So you want to have a simple call to action in each one, and you can't have it be someone scrolling the entire time. So sequential emails that really do have next steps and actionable, CTAs inside there. That's going to really help propel people into the next step of the buying process. And as they start to maybe see some social proof and some examples, and then maybe you offer a promo code and then you offer a sale, I guarantee your sales are going to be up. Now, like anything, this is like a muscle. You have to exercise it and you have to work at it. Email marketing is not one of those get rich quick schemes. You can't just buy a list, throw whatever you're doing towards it, and expect to see the results. So it does take some time and some preparation, and it does take some mapping out and diligence. And a lot of times, in my experience with myself, with my own company, and with helping other businesses, it's the work that goes beforehand. It's all of our freebies or giveaways that you have or content that you have before you really want to be promoting your product. Look at what are the auxiliary subjects and topics that are associated with your core demographic, and that's what's going to initially help start, launch the growth of your list. And once you start to have a healthy and large enough list, you can start to target and segment them, and then provide them appropriate offers to them that match what they're actually looking for. Like for myself, we do web design, branding, and digital marketing. I can offer different promos to different people as I start to learn more about the list. So if this is something that you are interested in learning even more about, or you have questions with, we do some email marketing for certain industries, and of course you can always sign up for something like that, and you can go on my website and book a time for us to meet. Creativepartner.ca. I'm going to put it in the chat just now. But at the same time, if this is something that you're interested in, you just need to know that it's a long-term uh, uh, aspect of your business that you will need to work at consistently. You know, having a complete guide to all of email marketing would be much longer than just 30 minutes. But for us to do at least some of it, I thought I would give you a couple of tips, and then we would jump into some of the elements of a great email sequence that leads to sales. And then what you need to do is still kind of piece it all together, and maybe start with some trial and error. And if you want somebody to talk to, I'm here for that. I would love to do that with you guys. But to expand your business, email marketing is a great way, as a strategy, as one of the tools in your tool belt that can help you move to the next step. All right. I'm so happy that you guys were here with me today. If you guys have any questions, I will still hang around for a little bit. For anyone who has any questions that want to put it, you can put it in the chat. Yeah, I hope this guide really does help you. And if you're looking or interested in having the uh, guide that I'm going to be providing about email marketing for businesses with the email sequences that we're talking about today, go ahead and leave your email inside the chat box, and we'll talk to you as soon as possible. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Have a great one. Bye for now.